We will see in Chapter 1, Development of Insurance Legislation in India. We will be covering stages in the development of life insurance in India, stages in development of non-life insurance in India, nationalization of insurance in India, insurance sector reforms and opening up, Life and General Insurance Councils, and General Insurance Business Nationalization Act, that is also called GIBNA, G-I-B-N-A. As you all must be aware, insurance in India came from England, and earlier part, only English companies were operative in 19th century. They started with life insurance companies. 1890, Oriental Insurance Company came to India. Then 1823, Bombay Life Insurance came in Madras. But these companies were exclusively for British gentlemen. Indians were treated as inferior risks and they were charged 20% more premium. But in 1871, first Indian insurance company started, Bombay Mutual Life Insurance Society, which started charging equal premium for all. Then 1912, government realized that the sector was to be regulated, so they passed Indian Life Insurance Companies Act to regulate only life insurance sector. That time, other sectors, other parts of insurance of non-life were not regulated. Then subsequently, as time went by, the need arose to regulate non-life also, and after a few years, in 1938, the first comprehensive legislation was passed, Insurance Act 1938, along with Insurance Rule 1939. This particular act, Insurance Act 1938, is unique in the sense that it is not based on any law of England. It is drafted by an Indian and it is of Indian origin. It covered everything of life and general, and it is like Insurance Companies Act. It covers the working of insurance companies and various aspects of insurance companies working. Then after nationalization in 1956, Government of India thought of nationalizing the industry, and 1956 as first stage life insurance sector was nationalized. Then it went on for many years. All companies which were merged into life insurance were part of LIC of India, that is Life Insurance Corporation of India, and that was the only company in India which was working in life insurance sector. General insurance was working up to 1972, we will see slightly later on. Then in 1999, IRD Act was passed on 31st December, and 2000 onwards, life insurance sector was once again opened along with general insurance sector for private companies. So as on today, we are having public sector and private sector both operating in life insurance sector, but presently we are not having any foreign companies. All are Indian companies with, if any foreign companies involved, maximum 26% holding is allowed. Then let us see the progress of general insurance sector or non-life insurance sector. In 1850, Triton Insurance Company came into Calcutta, and it was first general insurance company in India owned by Britishers. 1907, Indian Mercantile was the first Indian insurance company. It started in Bombay. 1938, non-life also got regulated under Insurance Act 1938 along with life insurance company. Then as per the act, there are 4 branches of insurance which is still valid: life, fire, marine and miscellaneous. Miscellaneous consists of all other branches which can be subdivided or subdivision of miscellaneous branches like motor, liability, engineering, etc. Even mediclaim will come part of miscellaneous. Then 56, life insurance sector was nationalized, but general insurance was not nationalized. It got nationalized only in 1972 under General Insurance Business Nationalization Act called GIBNA. 107 companies which were Indian or non-Indian, foreign companies, in different types of entities. All were merged into 4 public sector units: National Insurance Company, New India, Oriental, and United India. And their undertakings was taken away by firstly by Government of India, and on General Insurance Corporation of India being formed, the undertaking was transferred to GIC. So GIC became holding company. For the first time, it was something unique that a public sector company is holding up other public sector companies at that time. So GIC was holding company, as well as it was carrying on certain special types of businesses like aviation, crop, etc. Then in India, they also started overseas medical insurance. Then, as it happened with life insurance sector in 1999, general insurance sector was also nationalized under IRD Act from 31st December, and the sector was opened up in the year 2000. So as on today, we are having public sector companies, private sector companies with maximum holding of 26% of foreign entities. Then insurance sector reform. In 1956, as we saw, life insurance was nationalized, 73 general insurance was nationalized. Then Government of India appointed a committee when world was become globalized. So we have to follow the global patterns. So Malhotra committee was appointed to see and suggest ways and means of opening up sector for private companies. Committee submitted report in 1994, submitting the opening up of sector with certain parameters, and these were put into practice only in 1999 when IRDA Act was passed. In between, there was some move somewhere in 96 by then Finance Minister Chidambaram. He proposed opening up sector only to medical insurance companies, but that bill was not passed and it failed. So actual opening up was done by 1999 IRD Act, and effectively it took place in 2000. Then subsequently in year 2000, once again IRD Act was amended, and GIC, which was holding company, was made national reinsurer. So whatever was function of general insurance of GIC, that was taken away from GIC, and GIC became only exclusively reinsurance company. So GIC ceased to become holding company for public sector companies. So once again, public sector companies holding was transferred to Government of India. As on today, Government of India is holding all public sector, general insurance and LIC. PSU is now under control of central government. Then it is very old system that all insurers, companies operating in India, have to be part of Insurance Association of India. This is provision of Insurance Act 1938. So every company is member of Insurance Association of India. Prior to nationalization, foreign entities operating in India were also registered as members, but as associate members. Then Insurance Association of India was having, and still we are having, General Insurance Council and Life Insurance Council. We will see later about these councils. Insurance councils are 2 life insurance councils. It works through its executive committee, and mainly it is connected with suggesting ways and means to improve the working of life insurance sector, and under the act and regulations, wherever there are ceiling on expenses of management, initially in initial stages it is not possible to control or come within those parameters, but General Insurance Council can suggest to IRDA or government to allow slightly higher limits of these expenses, taking into consideration circumstances at that time. Similarly, General Insurance Council also works for general insurance sector through its executive committee, and wherever expenses of management are likely to be higher, it can suggest ways and means to allow them for temporary period, and once again ways and means to bring them under the control. We saw earlier that general insurance business was nationalized in the year 1972 by act called GIBNA, General Insurance Business Nationalization Act. It nationalized 107 insurance entities operative at that time, not 10, there is some typing error. 107 entities operative in government sector, public sector, cooperative sector, foreign companies, all were nationalized, and 4 public sector companies were created in 4 metros of India: Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta and Madras. The companies were National Insurance Company with headquarters at Calcutta, Oriental headquarters at Delhi, United India headquarters at Madras, and New India headquarters at Bombay. Shares of these companies were transferred to central government. So no other company than these 4 companies were allowed to operate in India in general insurance sector. Then GIC was formed, General Insurance Corporation of India. It became holding company for these 4 public sector insurance companies. So shares of government were transferred to GIC. Only public sector insurance companies and GIC can carry on general insurance business in India. Some specialized insurances like aviation, crop, etc. was handled by GIC, and initially overseas medical insurance in India. So what are the functions of GIC under General Insurance Business Nationalization Act and subsequently under IRD Act after amendment of 2002? Under GIBNA, it was required to do general insurance business of some specialized field. It was required to do setting of a standard for insurers to conduct business for benefit of customers, advising insurance on benefit of for controlling cost, advising insurance on investment of funds. As you know, investment of fund is very, very important for any insurance company because generally it is main source of income for insurance companies. Issuing directions to insurer on conduct of general insurance business depending upon the requirement of the circumstances, political situation and other situation. Then after IRD Act 2002, GIC became only reinsurance company, and our general insurance function and controlling function were transferred to general insurance companies, and controlling function was transferred to Government of India. Shares were also transferred to Government of India. So as on today, public sector companies are Government of India undertaking. Now as per IRD regulations, every company has to pass on certain percentage to GIC compulsorily. More than this, it is every company's choice. Initially it started with 20%, now it is 5%. In future it may be 0, but as on today it is 5%. It is called obligatory cession. Out of every policy underwritten by general insurance company, 5% should go compulsory to GIC as on today, and whatever claims are to be paid, 5% will be GIC's share. But it started with 20%, then 15%, then 10%, now as on today, 5%. Then in first chapter we saw how insurance sector developed in India, then how life insurance sector developed, how non-life insurance sector developed, then insurance sector reform because of Malhotra Committee formation, its report, opening up of sector. Then under Insurance Act, prior to nationalization, Insurance Sector of India was there. After nationalization also, they are still there. Only difference is there. Earlier, foreign entities were allowed as members. Now it is not so. We are having Life Insurance Council, General Insurance Council. General Insurance Business Nationalization Act was there in 1972, and we saw the function of GIC. With this, we end chapter number 1.